clueless Fox News host, and I mean that literally because she was in the movie Clueless, and she is clueless, so she's clueless on multiple fronts. Stacey Dash, she has some thoughts on the social safety net that she'd like to share with us.
The Census Bureau is reporting that the majority of American children, 65% to be very exact, are living in households which receive at least one form of government aid. Now, that would include food stamps, Medicaid, the National School Lunch Program, for example, and it's been that way for at least 3 years, making children living in homes that never received assistance actually in the minority now. Stacey, I know you have some strong thoughts on this.
Well, this is the Democratic Party's new version of slavery to me. I am a believer in the American dream. But as long as you are told where you have to live, what you have to eat, what you have to wear, where you have to go to school, you will never know the true meaning of freedom of expression.
Okay, I have no idea what that means. What you can wear, what you can eat, freedom of expression. Okay, she was talking about the social safety net. And also, might I add, the way they frame that is incredibly misleading. Because if we're talking about that significant of a percentage of the country, they're probably including in that number the earned income tax credit, for example. So they're really including tax cuts and defining that as a subsidy. They're defining that as the moochers, parasites, leeches, taking government assistance, when in reality, a lot of this stuff is just giving you your money back, right? Because 62% of the population, I mean, a lot of that might even be Social Security. Kids living with their grandmas, for example, or grandfathers, and they get Social Security. And we're not talking about somebody siphoning off the system in that situation. We're talking about what's called an earned benefit, because you paid into it and then you're getting the money back, right? So it's incredibly misleading. But look at... What are you saying? What are you saying? We don't want the government telling you what to eat, what to wear. When the fuck? We're not living in the Soviet Union. I don't even know if they did that in the Soviet Union, right? What are you talking about? Freedom of expression, how's that even part of the conversation? She's like, I believe in the American dream, and by that I mean nobody should get any government money. Well, then that would be the opposite of the American dream, because the purpose of the social safety net is to give people equal opportunity, to give them a fighting chance to actually succeed and have the American dream. But on Fox News, they flip it exactly on its head. I mean, honestly, it's incredibly disrespectful to say something like the existence of a social safety net is like modern-day slavery. That's disrespectful to former slaves, to the memory of former slaves. What are you, insane? You know what slavery was? I mean, we're talking about people who had no freedom, who were whipped, families were broken apart, women were raped. You died at the age of 48 because all you did was work all day long. It was a miserable existence where there was no escape from it. It's human beings being treated as if they're property, with no respect whatsoever. And you're going to compare to that Medicaid? So you're comparing to slavery health care for poor people. No, see, to me, that would be the opposite of slavery, because it's a service being provided by the taxpayers that's overwhelmingly positive and gives you a chance at succeeding in an independent way in your life. And if you want to say that the existence of a social safety net is equal to slavery, then what you're saying is every single modern industrial nation is a slave nation. So you're saying Australia is a slave nation, Canada is a slave nation, Britain and France are slave nations, Norway, Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, Finland, they are all slave nations. When, of course, if you look at the objective statistics and the numbers, it's clear that these are the places in the world that have done the best job at creating prosperous societies with free people in them. They define everything as their opposite, man. Slavery is giving you an equal opportunity to make it. Slavery is healthcare. Slavery is education. Really? Talk to the people in Sweden. Talk to the people in Denmark and ask them if they feel like they're enslaved.